Okay, if you're British, please don't click on this beautiful button because probably it's not about you. It's technically about the language. Because we have this interesting fact: why is English the only language that capitalizes I? And this is really important because if you speak any foreign language, you know that the language shapes the way people think. And yes, it's obvious because we think through the language. So when Germans want to text I in the middle of a sentence, they use lowercase ich. French people write small je, Spanish use little yo, and so on. Moreover, in languages where I is also a singular letter, like in Russian, ya, it is still not capitalized in the middle of the sentence. And so when Italians write io and Portuguese write eo, they don't emphasize how big and important they are. And it's even more weird when you realize how the idea of respect is shifted to the other people in many other languages. So that there are special pronouns that are used to show respect when you talk to a stranger or just to an old person. Obviously, you can be polite and respectful in English by using the right intonation, saying like could instead of can, saying sir and please and so on, but you know what I mean, it's much less. And I like how one guy pointed out on Quora, even if we use he in the middle of a sentence, if it refers to God, we use capital letter. I will not dispute what he decides. So it's almost emphasizing your utmost importance as if you were a god. Wow. So I did my research in attempt to find out how I became so big. And nobody actually knows. Because there were no vlogs back in the days. Oh, today we are gonna print the first book where I is gonna be big. It's gonna be huge, guys. But we need to say that it happened approximately when we started printing books. You see, the pronoun used to be pronounced differently in all English and spelled variously ik and ish, and at that time it wasn't capitalized. But by the end of the Middle English period, when Johannes Gutenberg invented the movable type printing press, the pronoun reduced just to I. Keep in mind, these printing techniques weren't advanced at all. So maybe it was important to emphasize the pronoun. Or maybe they just did it accidentally once and said, okay, let's keep doing this way. And here we are 500-600 years after, thinking like, oh, maybe there is a reason, because we want to have a reason, because the sense of structure makes us feel much more calm than accepting that the life is just a huge pile of mess. Also, some self-proclaimed experts say that small I can be easily lost or misread in handwriting. Maybe, but we are modern people, we don't actually know what handwriting is. Another hypothesis is we made the letter bigger, not we, medieval British made the letter bigger to show it was a longer sound. And this makes sense because ik is totally shorter than I just think that everyone already clicked off the video. And now I can do anything I want because nobody's gonna see it. There are some other small hypotheses why did this happen, but none of them explains why it's such a unique situation and it never happened in other languages. But anyway, the main idea is that we still use the rules from the era when less than 10% were literate. And then I want to ask you to express your opinion in the comments below. Do you really think that this small language factor makes people at least a little bit more self-centered? Because I met dozens and dozens of people from English-speaking countries, but I've never lived in these countries. And all of these people were really nice and I didn't notice a bigger ego in them. So, yeah. For me, it's not the case. Maybe there is something I need to think more about and maybe you'll help me. So write your opinion and I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe and check other videos on the channel. Yeah, see you in the next one.